So I was at a party the other day. I went with my boyfriend. He's pissing me off and shit, so I'm like, I ain't hooking up with you tonight, man. You go find another girl that's got bigger tits than I do. And I'm gonna go find another guy that's got a bigger cock than you do. Alright? Because they're out there, man. Alright, so anyways, we're at the party. I'm drinking, obviously. Little Bacardi and shit. It's good. Anyways, so I meet up with my friend. He's like, hey girl, how you doing? I'm like, there's no need to talk like a faggot around this joint. I ain't come here to see you. I came here to meet some other guys, not a little faggot like ass. Anyways. He's like, sorry, Brett, sorry. I'm like, there's no need to be sorry, you can't help who you are. So I walk away, because I don't want to be known with that guy. Anyways, I see this other guy from across the room. He's not that sexy. But I'm like, I'm gonna see what this guy's name is anyways. I get up real close to his face. I realize that's my boyfriend. I'm like, fuck, what a loss of time and effort. So I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I'm like, I just remembered that I'm bisexual and I got options. So not only do I gotta go up to the guys, but I can go up to the girls. So I go up to this one girl, she's drunk as hell. She's not bisexual, but she will be tonight after she sees my face. I'm like, bitch, you saw my face and I was turning you on. How does that make you feel that I know what's going on inside your head? She's like, feels pretty good because now I don't have to explain myself. I'm like, I don't care. I just asked for one simple yes or no answer. We get into a room. She's getting all kinky. I'm like, this is good. Things get heated. I close the door. My boyfriend is knocking. He's like, bitch, we're leaving. I'm like, I'm busy right now. He comes in. He's like, well, I am going to leave unless you let me join in this little fiasco you got going on here. I'm like, bitch, is it alright if he comes in? She's like, whatever, man. I'm just so fucked right now. I'm like, good. That's how I like him. She shuts up. Boyfriend gets in. I ignore her for a little bit because I don't want to touch her. She's passed out. Me and my boyfriend, we fuck. Then I touch her. She's unconscious. My boyfriend's going out. I'm like, boy, let's leave. We're gonna get the cops called off after us and get charged for rape. I'm like, alright. He finishes with her. I couldn't help it. We leave. Get in the car. Drive away. Do a burnout. Drops me off at home. Give him a little smooch on the lips. I'm like, bitch, you smell like B.O. He's like, deal with it. I'm like, oh, I'll deal with it. I put a gun to his head. He's like, bitch, you crazy. I'm like, obviously, when you hang around me, you better smell good or else I'll shoot you next time. No, you go home, put some cologne on, you give me a call tomorrow if you feel like it. He's like, I'll think about it. I'm like, no, you won't. You're gonna call me. I'll leave and get in the house. Go to sleep. I'm like, shit. I really like this guy. I never fell for a guy like this before. So I call him. I'm like, I was just making sure that you remembered what I asked you to do. He's like, what'd you ask me to do? I'm like, I asked you to call me. He's like, alright, I'll do it. He's like, but I want you to be in your lingerie tomorrow when you come over to my house. I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna be in sweatpants and a sweater. And he's like, whatever. So anyways, I told him things are over between us because he wasn't manly enough. No one is manly enough for me. You ready, man? Unforgivable.